Hi, Shan. So go to settings to connect video source streaming. So let's see. We're ready to go live. I'm just hoping that. So let's see.
Are you good, lovely?
Good, thank you. I just don't know why my phone is playing up with the connection to um this can good Windows. Okay, so camera is on. Now let's try and see if I can have this. Yes. So we're ready to go live. We're just waiting for. Hi, Caroline.
Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
lovely.
I've just walked through the door again. I've been out on a mission to try and get some plant-based Parmesan cheese for a dish for this evening, and I've tried 7 shops. They don't seem to. It seems to have gone out of stock now. So I've been driving around all morning and come back
That's
empty-handed.
it's not good.
No,
Can
never
you really
mind.
see me? My camera keeps
No,
going.
we can't. I can't see
Not.
you.
No.
Oh,
Plant-based parmesan, not even in Waitrose.
No, it's called Violife, and I've bought it loads of times in the past. Um, but yeah, I went to 2 different Sainsbury's. I went to Waitrose. I went to Tesco. I went to Holland and Barrett. I called the local health food shop. I went to Lidl. And I went to the co-op, so no.
The only
That's
other thing, and this is really crazy, because does Amazon do a daily? Do they can deliver sometimes daily, can't they? Or is it Uber?
they
Uber
might do.
Eats?
I could have a quick look. Yeah,
Honestly, excuse me.
I will.
I
I'll
know
have a
that
quick
sounds
look.
ridiculous, but one, they'll be able to pin it down, and two, they'll just be able to deliver to you.
Yeah, I know it's bad, isn't it? I try and not use Amazon, but there's just times when
I know.
you
Yeah,
um
needs must.
you
And
Mm.
do.
Katya is
Yeah,
here. Ladies, can you still not see me?
Hello,
Because my
lady.
camera is on.
I
can
can
see you
now.
now.
Oh,
There she is.
yay! We're all here. Are we all ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Yes.
Ready,
We're all ready.
steady, go. So, going live.
Let's see my lighting here.
I always think when we go live that we should be transported somewhere and then we'll come out somewhere else and then go live. It's quite funny, isn't it, actually?
We
Or is
are
that just me?
transported. We are transported straight into our Wealth and Wellness Women's Network. So we are
Wicked.
live. Hey
Should we
everyone,
chat?
and welcome to our second panel for this week. Second panel for December, second panel for this week as well. So we are on a roll. And if you are a member of this community, that you've been following this community for a while, you know that this community is special. We are all about providing the authentic space for connections, collaborations, and celebration. And today, this is exactly what are we doing. We are celebrating a hot topic with some hot guests, and I'm super excited about what we've got to share with you today. So, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a woman in health and wellness, health and well-being, stay tuned because we're going to be covering something really exciting. And I'm super excited for the topic, but not only the topic, we have amazing guests. The guests I've got today come from different backgrounds, but they've got one thing that brings them together, one thing in common. And that thing is their passion for health. They are passionate for building a business that aligns with their values and the passion for making impact. And aren't we all in business to make impact, but also to make income, right? So this is why we're bringing this hot topic today. And the topic is about sales, the elephant in the wellness room, not just sales, but there's a specific part of the wellness and well-being business that I have recently got really interested in, and is the wellness product partnerships, direct sales, network marketing. Maybe some of you have heard it being called MLM, multi-level marketing. Whatever people calling it, I think it's a topic that deserves to be spotlighted. And, today we're doing that. We're doing that because there's a lot of misconception around the topic. And I don't know about you, but if you're in business, unless you master sales, you don't really have a business. I don't know if you've realized that sales is big part of business. And instead of hiding away or, shying away from talking about sales, I think we need to be spotlighting this topic. And today, that's what we're talking about direct sales, talking about network marketing, because that's a huge part of women in business, in wellness and well-being. And as we opening the topic, and I'm inviting my guests to introduce themselves very shortly, I want to invite anyone who's watching, please share your thoughts, share any contributions, share any questions you might have, because this is not just one-sided. We're having this conversation so that we really spotlight something important in the business circle. And this is worth, unpicking, worth engaging with, and really sharing your thoughts and opinions. Let's dive in. I'm Rumiana Nyati, and I have the pleasure to be the admin of this group and the host of these live panels that we showcase different topics that are of importance. I'm a business coach, community builder, and events host for women in health and well-being. And I have one mission. My mission is to help health and wellness entrepreneurs turn their health skills and expertise into wealth without cringing, without shying away from sales, because sales is so important. And really, the spotlight today on my guests. I want to invite to the stage the three amazing women that are part of this panel. We've got Shan Ives. She is a seasoned entrepreneur. She has been in business for years, different industries. She is a wellness ambassador and nutrition specialist. We also have Caroline French. She is another amazing woman entrepreneur in the wellness space. She is a wellness specialist and a business mentor, and she'll be sharing her story very shortly. And not to forget, lovely Katya Gigova. She is a fellow business entrepreneur from Bulgaria who is well known in the field of beauty. She's a beauty expert, and she helps women feel well and look well from the inside out. So, ladies, welcome to the panel today.
Thank you, lovely.
Thank you.
I hope you're ready for some questions I have prepared for you. So I'll be sharing the questions, and I'll be inviting you to take turn to share your thoughts and obviously introduce yourselves. I'm coming to Shan first. Let's talk about what nobody really wants to talk about, and this topic of direct sales. And I call this question cringe versus reality. I want to hear your take on this. But Shan, instead of asking you, all of you, instead of asking you what do you do, I want to ask you, what does your work actually allow you to do? So share a little bit about you as a person, your values, your why, and what does your work allow you to do for yourself, for your community, for your clients, for your family. I think it's important to hear the impact rather than just a title or just one short thing. I want to know the impact and a little bit about you, please. Stage is yours.
Sure. I mean, business, it's a people business. I actually truly believe whatever business we are in, women, I mean, for me, I speak on behalf of women. Women are phenomenal.
I agree.
We honestly, and we look for something when we have that business entrepreneurial bug, we always look for, the authenticity within ourselves. Does it align with what we love and our values? And that comes as to number one. I do hear a lot with women of what do I love? And they go on this journey. And I think any business, I'm 55 now, I started business 25 years ago, and I've done so many different businesses. I've had an interior design business. I started my t-shirt printing business. I have had a travel business as a travel agent. Oh my Lord. It takes me back. So business is really powerful, and now community can be global. And I think what most women look for is, how can I set a business up quickly? What aligns to me? For me, financial. You might love something, but if it's not going to be in a business-wise, financially wise, I could say there's a couple of companies that I absolutely love and products. But when you look at a comp plan or you look at the return on investment, then you need to look at so many different things, but in a positive way. And that's learning about you, your personal development. And I love about the sales, when you talk about sales so passionately, any woman, we could take a baker, a cake maker, a mum at home wanting to do birthday cakes, but we have to sell, so shying away from that, it's where do I go? Where's the people that are going to be, is it going to be local? Fantastic. And it's looking at all of those things, but you still need to make money. So of everything you need to make money on. The community, I love health without question. For me, it's my number one. Health even becomes for me number one even before wealth. Because if we haven't got our health,
Yeah.
then there's no point the amount of money. But we do need to look at, where people want to be and earning money on the side. So whether that's a residual, we've talked about direct selling, network marketing. Are we going to go there? We are going to go there.
We are going to go there, and we're looking beyond the word, beyond the terminology. That's why I wanted all of you with amazing stories and expertise to come and share about what does this business model allows you to achieve as an impact with your clients, for yourself, for wider community. What's the impact? What's this business model that so many people avoid to talk about directly? What's the
Funny,
impact of
isn't it?
that?
Yeah, I mean, 75% of women love to work from home, number one.
Mm.
And why?
So
Because they
it's
want to be with
freedom,
their
that
kids. They
freedom
want
of,
to be around their children. Absolutely. If you've
yeah.
got children, for me, that was my case 20 years ago. My eldest is 20. What can I do from home? Because I had that business bug. I always wanted to, and this is just me. I know it doesn't resonate with a lot of women, like 1%. I always wanted to have, and I had that absolute goal of having a £10,000 a month residual income. That was my goal. A lot of women, when you first start talking to them, they want £500 to help with their bills. And this is what this creates. And no matter what you want in your life, it opens up. I didn't want somebody to tell me that I couldn't earn, that there was a ceiling on my worth. I didn't want that. I wanted to do six figures and more. I wanted freedom around my children. You know, if my kids were ill, then it's like they're older now, so they're not as ill. But when they're babies, you need to be able to have that freedom to drop everything and be with your children and not have that mom guilt. That's
Yeah.
freedom for me. Not asking for, can I have this time off in the holidays? You choose. You can have your 6 weeks, 8 weeks off in the holidays. And, in every moment for me, I never missed their sporting events, Christmas, when I used to work, in a job with British Airways, then my Christmases I could be away. So it's
Yeah.
you look at what you want and you can literally build a business and a lifestyle around that. I still travel once a month. So it unlocks so much, as well as having a business, a community. Women love women. When I worked in my t-shirt business, I was on my own. Whereas when you've all got a
Yeah.
community of like-minded women that have the same goal and the same vision, women move. We
Mm.
move in a direction that's really powerful, that can make a change and make a difference. So just so many wins, to be honest. And I also feel, especially in this environment or in this industry, women find that whole doing a website, doing that whole,
Mm.
it's a drain, and it stops them from being who they are. We build,
Yeah.
we buy from people that we really know, like, and trust. And there's so many of us. We could all do the same business, but we'll always attract a different group of people because of our personalities. And that
Yes.
is just wonderful. So yes, people might look at all of us now and go, oh, I couldn't do a live, or I couldn't be on social media, and I couldn't do a video. Brilliant. This business brings all personalities. If you're an introvert, there is a business for you to be able to work from home, but it's really looking at you, what you love, and then identifying how that can align with you and what your priorities are. Do you want six figures? Do you just want a little bit? Do you want to be at home more with your children? Or it just unlocks every single door, I feel, that can be somewhat in a 9 to 5 role.
Yeah.
It just literally opens every single door and allows you to powerfully step in.
Thank you. I mean, I was like kind of making little notes of keywords you mentioned. So, because we talk about a business model that aligns with your values, you're looking for that purpose, for that something that fits well with you. And you mentioned community, you mentioned freedom, having that time freedom, having that financial freedom. We talk about these things, but hearing that this can become a reality by utilizing a business model like this, I think is it's inspiring to hear that, because you often, when you hear that business model, just the word, maybe you don't understand what else you get as that, as part of that. And you're so right. As a business owner myself, over 10 years in different industries, I know setting up a business, running a business, growing a business, it's got so many individual moving parts. It's just having designing the product. Would that be a service? Would it be a physical product? Getting it to market, marketing, selling, staff, all the operations that go behind the business. It's not a one person's job. It's so difficult to run a business when you're by yourself, and it gets lonely. So, yeah, it's important to be part of a community. It's important to have that security of knowing that you have already developed product or service that you can tap into. So this is the real bonuses and win-wins for you. And thank you for sharing. I'm curious to hear from Caroline. Please, let's hear what's your experience? What's your reality of setting up on the journey of being working in this side of business model with partnerships? Tell us more about what your work allows you to do. What's the impact, and what's your day-to-day life?
So I started my business just over a year ago. I've been a stay-at-home mom for nearly 18 years. I do work on, we've got other businesses within the family that I do kind of admin and finance stuff for. So I have done things, but I knew it was time to find something for me. My son is more independent, and I needed something that was, going to light me up. But I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So I wasn't looking for that when I found this business. For me, it was health and well-being, and I found a missing piece of my well-being puzzle in water. And then I realized that there was a business opportunity attached to that. And I was actually quite put off with it for the very reason that we're talking about it now. I didn't think I could, I didn't like talking about money. I'm not a salesperson. And the whole network marketing thing just felt like a dirty thing to me. I didn't want to get sucked into something. I felt that, I could get sucked into something and not be doing, just going somewhere I didn't want to be. However, my intuition told me to look into this further, and that's what I did. And so for me, I had various reasons once I decided to do this, to have more financial stability. So looking towards the future, to be able to build legacy income. So something that was going to support us throughout the rest of our lives. Because in my particular business model, the compensation plan, you get to a certain level and you earn money for the rest of your life monthly, and it's willable to your children. So that was a real bonus for me. And another reason I actually started this was because the training platform that came with it was all about digital marketing and how to set up a business. And I thought the digital marketing would come in really useful for one of our other businesses. So social media, growing your following on there, and content creation and things. So that was kind of another, I thought, well, even if this business thing doesn't work, I get the water and I've got the training that will help me in other areas of my life. So that's kind of what made me go for it. And actually, the thing that stood out for me in the past 12 months is the journey I've been on. It's been a wild journey of self-inquiry and personal growth and development, none of which I thought I needed. I thought I was quite spiritual and grounded and all of that shenanigans. And then once you start delving into these things, money blocks, self-belief, sabotage, all of these things. And it has just been the wildest ride. And it never, and now I know it keeps going. You don't just kind of get to a place.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing journey. So for me, that has been like the most amazing thing that's happened to me in all of this. And it makes me feel really enthusiastic to be able to help other women through this. Because I think as women, lots of women have been stay-at-home mums, or lots of women have wanted to but haven't been able to, and have done a job or a career that maybe paid enough money but wasn't really what they loved or aligned with their values. And that's another reason why I never got a paid job in all of this time, because there's nothing that I came from the corporate world and I certainly didn't want to go back there. And then as the time went on, I'm basically unemployable. I mean, I don't follow rules. There's no way I can.
You make your own rules. Yes, to that. I love that.
But I think there's a lot of people that feel this way. They're doing something that's sucking the life out of them rather than giving them joy. And I truly believe one of my purposes is to show other women what's possible and to spark the remembrance as to why they came here to Earth at this time. We didn't come here to be slaving away 9 to 5, working in a job that we didn't really enjoy. And I'm really passionate about people really identifying what lights them up, what makes them excited, what brings them joy, and not thinking about, well, that's not going to earn me money. Actually, I believe if you're doing things that you really enjoy and love, that, you will always be provided for, and your abundance will flow because you're in that flow of joy. So
I love that.
So as much as I'm really passionate about health and well-being and the water, and educating people on the water, because people just don't drink water. They'll drink tea and coffee and think they're hydrating themselves throughout the day, or they're drinking tap water or just something that's not that good for them. So I'm passionate about educating there, but definitely helping women remember and see what's possible for them, actually looking and seeing that, yes, I can do that too. She's a normal person. She's done that. So that's kind of where I am. And for me, it was important to have a community of people around me. So I am in a global team. I've got my own team as well. And because I believe that there is abundance for all, when nobody's in competition with each other, there is somebody out there for everybody, a potential customer. So even if, I've got somebody else doing exactly the same business, they will have a completely different set of people that will be magnetized to them.
Yeah.
So that means that you can be a cheerleader, you can be supportive, because you know that when we're all growing and being successful, the whole world changes and evolves.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it, being part of this team and this collective.
I love that. And it's so interesting having these open conversations. It's amazing to go from Shan, who's run so many different businesses. She's been there starting and growing physical brick and mortar businesses with products, to moving to this business model and realizing how she found everything set up and ready to go. And just you bring yourself into it. And then, if it's aligned with your values, it just works. But also you sharing a story that you've just started a year ago, and you're already, I love how you said it's been a wild ride. But that wild ride it was enjoying yourself, growing in the process, meeting community, and really being in a position where you enjoy what you're doing while you're making an impact, and you improving your own health and well-being and helping other people do that, and also mentoring them to build a business of their own. So it shows that, no matter what's your background, when you started, did you start 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or you've just started this year, you are celebrating a success just because you've tapped into a business model that's already set up, ready to go, and you're just growing with that, and it's amazing to hear. Thank you for that. Katya, your turn. I want to hear what's your story, what brought you in what you do, and what's the impact with what you do. Please share.
Yeah, thank you, Rumiana. So my story is long with network marketing. What brought me in this industry was when I was new in this country, I needed new friends. I came
Community.
alone. I was single mom with a teenager. I needed new friends. I was looking for a better lifestyle. That's the reason to come in this country, first of all, and that's how I met my company. I was looking actively to find something which can help me earn more money and have this lifestyle I was dreaming of. And of course, the community, the thing I missed the most were my girlfriends from home and family, of course. And that was the initial thing. What I saw in this room when I went to a presentation was very positive, welcoming women, happy. You can feel and sense their happiness and their how to say sense of belonging, sense of purpose, sense of purpose
Yes.
in what they are doing. And I was instantly attracted to that. I saw that
I love that.
myself. I'll be feeling satisfied and happy, and that would be the way to live the life I was wanting.
Wow.
Of course, I fell in all traps with which cause many people have negative beliefs about this industry. That it doesn't work, that sales are very hard, is not for everyone. And here comes really the proof that this business is self-growth wrapped in business opportunity. That's the proof. Unless we grow up, our business is not gonna grow up, or it will be temporary. And that's what happened to me. I was doing all right, then there was a dip, then I gave up, and in a few years later, I realized I haven't moved nowhere. I'm the same as a beginning, and realizing after I have shared with you, I have another degree here in UK in finance and accounting, and when I started job there, I realized that's not for me. I can't work that. I just can't.
One of my dear friends, Christian, I made a comment on yesterday's live that my mom wanted me to become an accountant, and I said, "Mom, I can't do that. I come from a healthcare background. I love helping people." And talking about accounting again, what you're sharing now, if I know Christian will be watching, she's an accountant. She's like, oh, don't beat us up, our accountants. We are heartless. She's into network marketing, believe it or not, with another brand. But so true what you're saying. If your heart is seeking that purpose-led, heart-led business and belonging, you'll struggle to fit in specific places. And that goes true for networking, for work, for corporate job, like Caroline as well mentioned. So that's really proves that you are set up to do things differently, to make your own rules, right?
Yeah, yes.
I love that. So what has your business has allowed you to do right now, where you at and the impact you're making? What's kind of the highlight of that?
If I start with myself, it's transformed the way I look, the way I feel myself, my confidence, in other words, and my confidence that I can help other women feel and look better. I have the instruments, I have the know-how how to do it in practical small steps. And in other hand, regarding to the business, I realized recently that no one in my family has ever had business. Never. Wow. We've been always working for someone.
Oh, that's
so shifting my mindset from worker thinking to business owner thinking is not an easy task.
No, it's not.
It's not, it takes time. It does take time. So, I think that's the best industry to do so. The best industry to do so.
Health and wellness, health and well-being. Yeah. Because of the support
network marketing.
And network marketing,
As Shan, I think she said, you don't need a huge amount of money to invest and to set your business. Everything is done by the company. And then it's up to me to show up and spread this knowledge, these products, and this opportunity for someone who is looking for that. The ultimate goal is the freedom. As you may relate to that, with as a foreigners in this country, is to gain my geographical freedom, I call it. So I don't need to be in the UK in order to have my lifestyle as I wish. So I'll be able to work even from my village back home in Bulgaria.
Yes, and amen to that. Katya, that share touched me a lot. I'm also Bulgarian. I've lived in this country 21 years. It's so true what you just said. Being raised to be hard worker, chase qualifications. I have several qualifications, qualification after qualification. And I'm sure many of the women watching, they will resonate with this. We've been told to chase qualifications and go in the corporate world, go work in jobs and chase that ladder, climb the ladder, only to realize that we've got no time for our children, we've got no time for our loved ones when we do that. We've got no time to even pay attention to our health. I was working 16-hour shifts in NHS, telling everybody else to make adjustments in their health, working in operating theatre, on calls, weekends, trading time for money, and not having enough time for my own health. Then I turned into running businesses 10 years ago. Huge investments to start your own business when you've got to develop everything. Then I started trading health for wealth, right? From time for money to health to wealth. But what you've just said, to turn from a worker, and I'm also first generation entrepreneur, to suddenly have this opportunity to become entrepreneur, to become a business owner in such an easy way with low investment, just to say, do you know what, this health and wellness product or service that has already been built and established aligns with my values, aligns with me. It brings me joy, it brings me, gives me the community, it gives me the support, it gives me the startup package, it gives me everything. I can be that entrepreneur. It doesn't matter. I'm just maybe used to be stay-at-home mom, or maybe I've just dropped out from work or whatever for health reasons. It just gives you that flexibility and freedom to become entrepreneur. So much easier than if you to go and develop something of yourself. And that was my kind of, listening to you resonated because I've been on that journey, starting businesses and building businesses, and it's a huge shift from employee to entrepreneur, and the journey is not easy if you try to do it by yourself. But what you've just shared is really, I hope inspires someone who is listening and thinking, I want to have that geographical freedom. I want to be at home with children if I have to, or, travel or do whatever, but I don't know where to start. And I think this is a great conversation, or this is the great place to start. And probably people are wondering what they're talking about sales, but nobody's trying to sell anything yet. Watching this are very disappointed, ladies. We've not sold anything. You've all been just sharing your transformation, your stories. And this is the key. I think people don't get that once you're in network marketing or, direct sales, it's not about chasing people on the street. No, it's not. It's about sharing a story, walking in a room, being open-minded and wanting to share, wanting to listen, caring. I call it in my coaching, I call it caring is sharing. Selling is caring, because you have to care for someone to earn the right to sell. And, this is when you have these open conversations about people's health and that. It's really, really amazing hearing your story. So very quickly, I want to hear the before versus the breakthrough. You all kind of touched on where you were before, but I want to hear, maybe if you remember a defining moment where this is the right model for me, this works, and you started looking at sales differently. And actually, I'm going to come back to Katja, to you on the second question, because you just said you're speaking to people and people say, no, I'm not good at sales or can't do sales. But this is not just about direct sales marketing. Sales, if you are a business owner or if you want to be a business owner, you have to do sales. Guess what? There's no other way. Otherwise, it will be just a hobby. So I'm curious, Katja, for you, when was that moment where you realized actually, sales is part of business and you got that confidence? Because we don't wake up confident. I'm just curious how this business has helped you build that confidence and how you embrace the journey, and maybe that kind of aha moment, the breakthrough moment for you.
I wouldn't say it was like this date. If you understand what I mean. It also has been a process. And when I decided that this will be my job, this is what I want to do for a living, then became a little bit easier, because this weight of I have to do sales, I have to advance in a rank, it was gone. Because when you know you do this for life, you don't need to rush and become something natural. And as if I realize when I'm sharing something very spontaneous, very very real, then this attracts a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then people come to me and ask me. I don't need to chase no one. really.
Yeah.
And even last month when I went back home for a short time, the amount of people stopped me and told me that I inspire them with what I share. Some of them never gonna buy something, but this satisfaction that does actually matter what I do,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And it's so true. It's a journey, and you know, like you say, you feel like you belong in a team. You feel like you're doing this. It's not just a job, but it's part of who you are. You're inspiring people, and yeah, it makes it touches people. It makes an impact on other people's lives. Just hearing that is possible, and I love that. Caroline, I'm going to come back to you and hear your before your breakthrough. How was life before joining this business, and what kind of has been your transformation? What's been your change in this?
Well, I didn't think that I could be a salesperson. That's what initially put me off. I didn't want to do it. But then when you actually look around, everything in life, you are a salesperson. You know, you've got a new top on and someone says, well, that's a lovely jumper. Where did you get that from? You're basically in sales because you're recommending something. You recommend a restaurant, you recommend your hairdresser. So throughout life, we are actually in sales. But then I've also found that sales, to look at it a different way has really helped me. And it's actually being of service to somebody, adding value to somebody, not just to me. It's actually sharing something that I'm passionate about that may well help somebody else in their life. So that's been one of my major breakthroughs, that sales is being of service, it's adding value. And as long as you're really passionate about what you're doing, it's not difficult. It's
No.
not a chore because it just comes naturally. You know, like talking right now, I don't need any notes to kind of work out what all of my points are. It literally is in my
It
heart. This is,
sounds,
you
yeah.
know, what lights you up just comes naturally to you. And I think when you're choosing a business, a network marketing business, it's really important to to do something that really aligns with your values, that you can be really passionate about and that you really believe in. And then it's easy. But there's kind of different levels to this. It's what do you want? What are your goals from this? Is it just to earn a little bit more money to pay the bills or have a holiday each year? Or is it a career for the future where you want to build legacy income and, you know, set yourself up? So there's lots of different considerations, but I've gone off topic there, sorry.
No, that's fine. Actually, I was going to um, ask you for a woman who's sitting at home, maybe watching this now or later, or for anyone who watches this video, really, what would be your words? Maybe they are curious, but they've got that fear, maybe, like you say, you know, we've all been there, maybe fear of sales. What doors is she closing by avoiding an opportunity like this? What's the opportunity that she's shutting off by just thinking to herself, nobody in my family is entrepreneur, has ever been entrepreneur. I don't know how to do sales. I maybe don't have thousands and thousands and thousands to invest. What would be your encouragement for someone like this?
If you have an inkling, your intuition is telling you that you are here for more, and you found something that you think could be a good fit for you, I would say your only regret will be not to try it.
Mm.
And I now wish I'd looked into this earlier because I would be further down my journey. But I believe in divine timing. So I know that when I started this journey was exactly when I was meant to start the journey. But for me, it is about listening to yourself, not worrying about how you can do something, how any of the hows. It's just you make a decision to do something and go for it, and just listen to yourself and don't listen to other people. Don't listen to the naysayers. That's another thing.
And don't listen to the naysayers in your own head. Often we could be the biggest enemies for ourselves with imposter syndrome. So be open-minded and explore, right? Because when you hear a story like yours and the ladies here, it shows you that there is a easier way, there's a better way, and it's not as hard as you think, and you're not doing this alone. Several times we've spoken about community. Several times we've spoken about belonging and values and the freedom. So what I'd love, as we, wrapping up this, and we'll get back to Katya and Shan, but I want you ladies to take this opportunity to mention the companies that you represent, just as a brand, but then in the comments, then drop a link to anything else you want to invite people, just maybe your personal diary for people to reach out and chat to you. Or but yeah, you mentioned that you are in the wellness, water wellness business. So can you just mention what is the company's name?
The company is Enagic. It's a 52-year-old Japanese company that their flagship product is water ionizer machine, which is medical grade. It's used in hospitals in Japan. So that's like the main thing. It has a very good compensation plan, and I personally have a very good supportive team around me.
Lovely. Thank you, Caroline. I mean, it's just inspiring to hear how someone like you for, just a short period of time a year has benefited with the training, the community, the support. Yeah, it's lovely to hear that there's opportunities, and you can start whenever you decide to, just even to ask questions to find out a bit more. You don't have to, commit to anything, but this is why we're having this conversation, to show the real impact and what real women do with this type of businesses. Katya, I want to come back to you again, just to hear what's your encouragement for anyone listening, anyone who's curious about beauty, wellness, their skin. What's your encouragement, and what's the product that you, or the company you partner with?
Yeah, this brings smile because I love it. So the company I'm partnered with is called New Skin. It's American brand, 41 years.
Wow.
And we are most famous for our number one at home beauty devices.
Okay.
And is not this is not all. As you mentioned when you introduced me, we are helping looking good from inside out. So we've got beauty and health supplements, and we've got actually device which measure that, how the supplements are absorbed in our body, which I'm most passionate about that.
Love that. And it's
so it
the
can
accessibility.
benefit. Sorry.
The accessibility, because you mentioned you can have this beauty tool at home, right? You don't have to.
Yes.
You don't have to book to a clinic or a salon. So yeah, that's very very interesting. Lovely, thank you. Please just feel free to then share more information for anyone else who wants to learn more about it in the comments. And coming to Shan, we started with you, and looks like we're going to end with you. Please, the last question was fear versus future. So we're talking about there's someone who wants to try something new. They've not maybe been in business before, or they are in business, because this community here is about 700 women in this community. Most of them are entrepreneurs in the health and wellness space. And some of them are probably just working on their business, something that they've started, they've designed, started from scratch. Some may be thinking of starting something. But often that fear, that hesitation, that I'm not good at sales, or I don't know where to start, or I want extra income. Fear versus future. What would you say, again, the opportunity for better future is with the company that you represent. And tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, for me, women are just incredible. For any woman that's listening, have a chat, have a conversation. Having a cup of tea on Zoom is just such a lovely way. Reach out to anybody. I mean, you hold this space so beautifully in your group, your health and wellness group. And I think that's so powerful because you're urging people to expand their knowledge, their interests, their passion. And like we've all said, we are so passionate about not only our businesses, but our growth. We grow, don't we? And when we talk about sales, which you've done, the fear of sales. How can I possibly? Which, I mean, I get it. I really do. But the powerful, where we've all said, is when you're passionate overtakes, it's the faith in your passion and yourself that can really, take you boldly. And you don't have to, when we say bold, it's your passion. It's, look at everyone here. We're beaming, but we're literally beaming because we're so passionate. It's so aligned. We've seen differences and changes not only in people's lives. For me, in my health, the company that I represent powerfully is a company called Zinzino, and it's a test-based science company. Yes, with products, but what I and my journey I had 38 years of chronic PMS, monthly cycle of pain for 38 years. I spent thousands of pounds. I went to lots of different, professions, practices for having somebody heal me. Nothing healed me. And it took one brave man. It wasn't even a woman that said, "Is health important to you?" And I said yes. And if you and I could take a test, would you take a test? And I said yes, but I was still, we're all very much in this environment right now. We've got a cupboard full of stuff that we've all bought. And we're very tired of the cupboard full of stuff because we have hope and we really want things to help us in our health, right? And for me, I wanted to hear if I didn't need this product, right, that he said, that if I tested and I was in this perfect ratio, then if I was in that perfect ratio, who is in perfect balance, I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't in balance, then I'd get a full return on my money. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to hear. Now, if my body needed what the test said that I needed, that I wasn't out of balance, I knew I wasn't out of balance, I could have, gone, hey, it's not rocket science. So, but then I would happily take it. But what's my blood saying? So it's very, very revolutionary, not only a gut test, a diabetes test, a vitamin D test, the balance test of your omegas. It's absolutely essential, whether you're taking omega or not. What it did for me was it changed my life. So in my health. So for me to be able to test and not guess. So, and then when you notice the difference, I think when you have the passion like we all do, when we see the difference in ourselves, we can't help but radiate that. It comes from within. So yes, has it changed my life? 1,000,000%. Has it had a knock-on and a ripple effect with so many, tests that I've done over 5 years, hundreds of tests? Yes. So it's really powerful. So, and you said about the fear, we all get a little bit of fear, don't we? If we walk into a room, if it's a networking environment but when you sit really powerfully and somebody says, "What do you do?" It just shines, whether they want that or not. I think the biggest thing for me is me and my husband work together from home. We've got over 20,000 monthly customers around the world. That just fills my heart knowing that we can make a difference. And whatever business we all have, it works alongside people that have got yoga, any health. If you're passionate about health, you're passionate about testing. And that's the way forward. It's preventative health, which is just beautiful. So, so powerful. And I think when you are passionate, you haven't got any fear. You know, especially with the mom that goes, oh, I can't sell. No, but you're passionate about your children.
Yeah.
If they were ill, I always say this because I just think it's hilarious. That meekest, mildest mom, who's the introvert, has a baby in her arms. It's her baby. She knows that that baby needs to see a doctor. And this meek and mild mummy, and she needs to see that doctor. Her gut's calling her, and she knows. And we all know the doctor's nice sort of receptionist to go, no, you can't see a doctor today. Do you think that mom would say, do you think she would listen? Or do you think, one, she'd knock every single door down and make sure that that baby was seen that day because of the urgency? Do you think she would literally drive to the hospital to get that done? That is, she's passionate about her baby. And it's just beautiful to see women step into their power of passion in their businesses when they find what they're truly passionate about. And they'll knock down the doors. They'll knock on doors. They'll get into any place because they have that mission to help and heal and inspire and change. And that's what we're all doing. And having somebody like you holding space and wanting to expand everybody, it's just beautiful. Thank you for who you are and how you expand everybody's businesses doing by what you're doing. And I want to salute you for that, because you want them to not only love what they do, but you want them to have the wealth that you know. And and to have that mentorship is beautiful. So I salute you so much and thank you for holding this space today.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. And I get inspired by you ladies, and this is my driver. This is my baby. Because I believe that if women have a product or a service that changes other people's lives, they deserve to have a business that changes theirs. And you showing up here and speaking to so many women who are so passionate about what they do. But sales is one thing that often shrinks them, or their confidence shrinks them, or they're working alone, they haven't got community. I've seen so many brilliant women shying away and struggling to make their business work for them, because they're caring for everybody else, simply because they are shying away, they don't have the support, or they are just sitting in fear. And I know how it feels to be skilled but stuck. When I started, I didn't have confidence, and I wanted to create a place and space where we bring people together, like-minded people like us women, with the safe, authentic space for connections, collaborations, celebrations, and inspiration. Because today the whole idea of this topic is really to inspire women that there is a way. Few years back, I was still working in NHS part-time. Not few years now, probably now my daughter is 14, so she was about 2 at the time, 2 or 3, so they are more than 10 years ago. She ended up needing to go to A&E, and I just finished work, 12-hour shift, and I ended up then going straight from my shift to A&E and spend the whole night in A&E with her. In the morning, I was due for another shift. I rang my manager at the time on the ward, and I told her that I haven't slept. I've worked 12 hours and I've been another 12 hours in A&E with a very poorly child. But we got discharged in the morning with prescription. So she said, well, is your daughter admitted in hospital? I said, no, we're at home, and I've got to look after her. She says, well, you're back to work today. She wasn't admitted in hospital. I can't authorize your leave. So you've all shared similar situations where we want that freedom. We want that time freedom, money freedom, but often we don't know there's a better way. Or you start a business and again, you don't know maybe how tap into potentially network or support. So this community exists for this purpose, for us women to share stories, to inspire each other, to connect, to collaborate, to open opportunities for others who are curious how else they can support their existing business, or how else they could maybe start a business like Carolyn did. She started from scratch just a year ago, and here she is celebrating, supporting other women. Katja started, stopped, went back to accounting and said, no, it's not for me. I'm going back to what I'm passionate for. So this is what's about, and I celebrate other women who celebrate, and I like I say, your business success is my success, because I want to provide the stage, the support for women to turn their health and wellness expertise into actually a business that gives them that joy and that income. So I want to thank you all for showing up today and sharing your amazing experience. Please share in the comments links to your businesses. And I want to invite anyone else who's watching or will watch this later to reach out, turn fear into fuel, to explore new opportunities, to invest in something that aligns with them. Obviously, don't do anything that's not aligned with you. But if you have that nudge to just ask a question or explore about your health, about your well-being, about the water, about the beauty, that Katja is ambassador of the beauty products and the wellness products. I really advise anyone to just give it a go, because today is what, 12th of the 12th. I think it's a special day, 12th of December. We started this conversation at 12 o'clock as well. So ladies, much love to all of you. Thank you for being part of this panel. And anyone else who wants to join again and bring a topic or a mission to the spotlight, I am here to facilitate that. And I'm here to make this community work for you, and here to support you with anything else I can. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Rumi. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.